everyone always says that ultralight's so expensive, all the gear's so expensive, and this backpack is not. So, there is so much ultralight gear on the market these days. There's so many different brands. I feel like it can be kind of hard to like see through all the noise and know which gear items are gonna give you the best value, the best bang for your buck. So if you've been shopping for ultralight backpacks specifically, you've probably seen a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different models, all this stuff. And the truth is, most of that stuff is really good. However, ultralight backpacks tend to be pretty expensive, and that's why it absolutely blows my mind that not as many people are talking about this backpack right here. This is the ULA CDT. This backpack is frameless, this backpack is ultralight as fuck, and this thing only costs $145. For that reason, that I just can't believe that this isn't one of the, if not the most popular ultralight backpack on the market. So if you are, to put it in perspective, I've been using a ULA CDT backpack since 2014. I've used my ULA CDT on the long trail. I've used it on a bunch of the Adirondack 46 and the White Mountain 48. I've used it on my thru hike of the Northville Placid Trail. And of course, I used it when I thru hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2018. And just so we're clear, all of that stuff except for the Northville Placid Trail thru hike was done with the same exact backpack. Like not the model, but like the actual same backpack. This one right here is pretty new. I just used it on the Northville Placid Trail. But this one right here is my old one. This is the one that's seen literally thousands of miles and is still going strong. So this is kind of gonna be a review, I guess, of this backpack. It's like my first ever review. Let's give Kyle a round of applause for having a backpacking channel for an entire year without doing a single gear review. And this is not sponsored, by the way. I bought both of these backpacks with my own money. I wish it was. I'd love to take ULA's money, but I'm gonna go through all the pros and all the amazing things about this backpack right now. But make sure you watch all the way to the end because I'm not gonna let them off too easy. Of course, I'm gonna go through some of the cons and some of the things that I don't like about this backpack. But overall, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is an amazing pack. So yeah, let's get into it. Woo! The first thing that I like about the ULA CDT is that this thing is so damn light. It's not even funny, dude. And the thing is, it comes with a bunch of like removable features, so the weight actually kind of varies depending on what things you leave on the pack and what things you take out. I believe this one right here, without most of like the removable features it comes with, probably weighs about 23 to 24 ounces, which is pretty damn light. This one right here is even lighter. This thing is supposed to weigh like 17 ounces because I took out literally everything and I have a smaller top here too. It's a frameless pack, right? So it's basically just an empty sack when nothing's in it, but trust me, this is a extremely awesome empty sack. Now, of course, with any frameless backpack, you have to be careful with the gear you're packing and your base weight before you get it. Like, if you just have a bunch of like heavy ass gear from your local outfitter and then you try to just load up a frameless pack with it, it's probably not gonna work. You're gonna wanna make sure you have a pretty light base weight. I'll give a ballpark, say like 10 or 11 pounds is what I would shoot for. If you're a little bit over, you're probably okay, but ULA does say that if you carry more than 18 pounds like total in the backpack, it might start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And again, that's something you're gonna get with all frameless packs. That's not unique to this pack. I will say though, I've carried more than 18 pounds in both of these packs pretty frequently, and yeah, it's probably not quite as comfortable as it is below that, but it's still doable in my opinion. They're probably just being a little bit conservative, you know, with their estimates on the website, but it is true, you're definitely gonna wanna keep your base weight down in order to comfortably use this pack. Get some leaves crunching around in there. Ooh, look at that. Another thing that I really like about this backpack is that it's extremely versatile, and what I mean by that is you can use it for all different kinds of trips, right? So I do day hikes quite a bit. I do thru hikes. I do just overnight weekend trips. I do all sorts of stuff, and this backpack can be used for all of it. I mean, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I used, well, not this one for the entire Appalachian Trail. So obviously it can be used for a long distance thru hike, but I also do a lot of day hiking too. And it's so awesome to be able to use the same backpack for a long distance thru hike and a day hike, because basically the way this works is they have these like cinches on the side, and then of course the cinches and straps on the top as well. And so you can pack this thing down pretty damn small, and again, it's so lightweight that it's probably the same weight as just like your Osprey day pack anyways. The funny thing is, I literally just loaded this thing up with like some blankets and shit, so it's not even like actual gear in here. I'm just f***ing around at this point. Another one of my favorite features of this pack is the water bottle pockets right here. See that? See, oh, more leaves. Haha, look at that. Way more leaves. But these pockets are awesome. You can easily fit one smart water bottle in these pockets, and they're great because when you put this thing on, nobody likes to have to stop to take their pack off in order to get their water bottle, right? So with this thing, if it actually had gear in it and I was actually, wearing it correctly and stuff, I could reach back and grab my bottle without having to take off my pack. So even like while I've been hiking like down steep rocks and shit, like I've still been able to do that and like take a drink without stopping, without taking my pack off, and that's really, really awesome. I've also heard people say that you could probably fit 2 smart water bottles in the pocket. I've never tried it, but like I don't see why not. So if you're hiking out in the desert or somewhere where you need extra bottles or some shit, you should be able to do that as well. And then honestly, my favorite thing about this backpack, besides the fact that it looks like really sexy, I mean, this is just a good looking pack, isn't it? This one doesn't look quite as sexy, but that's because it's older and I like sweat and just like beat the shit out of this thing, so we'll throw that one aside for now. Ooh. Yeah, my favorite thing about this backpack is this freaking pocket right here, dude. This huge mesh pocket. It doesn't really do much justice to it when it's like empty like this, so maybe I should put some gear in it. So I just shoved my entire tent and rainfly into this pocket like it was absolutely nothing. This pocket's so awesome because it's like super stretchy, so you can fit way more stuff in there than you might actually think. And so basically what this pocket has allowed me to do is to keep all of my gear that I can allow to get wet on the outside of my backpack, so I don't have to put any wet things on the inside of my backpack where all my clothes and my sleeping quilt and all that stuff is, because you got to keep that stuff dry. And so on the outside, I'll usually put like my rain fly, I'll put my rain jacket, my tent stakes, my spork, my toilet paper, stuff I want easy access to and stuff that can get wet and have it not really be that big of a deal. And I know other backpacks have like pockets like this on the outside, but I don't know, I feel like I haven't seen that many other backpacks that have one that's this big. Look how much extra space that adds there. I just don't get how this isn't like the most popular, like by far, ultralight backpack. Like, I don't know, dude. And so a common thing you hear when people are talking about ultralight frameless backpacks is that, oh, like they're not durable, like they're gonna fall apart on you. And my experience with the backpack I just threw on the ground over there a second ago is like proof that people who say that are just full of shit, honestly, because I literally put at least 3,000 miles on that backpack, a frameless backpack that only weighs 17 ounces, and it held up the entire time. Of course, there were a couple like minor little repairs I had to do over the years. I think this pocket ended up getting a little rip, and I also think the hip belt pocket did at one point, but overall, for that many miles for a frameless pack, like that's a hell of a deal, let me tell you. Alright, so I've basically just been like kissing this backpack's ass for this entire video so far. So let me talk about, that's so weird, dude. Let me talk about some of the cons for this backpack. And to be honest with you, I really had to like dig pretty deep to find things I don't like about this pack. I did come up with a couple things. So the first one is this little hole right here. This thing's not really like waterproof, but it is pretty water resistant, I'll say. But they have these like little holes right here that go inside the backpack there. And I think what they're meant for is for like a hose for a water bladder inside of the backpack, which like I get some people like to use those, so I could see why they would want that as a feature. However, I don't think it should be the default. I feel like you should just sell the backpack without these holes here, because there's one on this side too. And then if people want that feature, then they can like opt in for it. But I feel like most ultralight backpackers don't use water bladders or hoses like that, so I'm not sure why they continue to make this like the default feature on the backpack. Water does get in a little bit there, I will say. The next thing I'll mention has to do with the extra features that come with this backpack. There's this, let me show you this. So when you get the backpack out of the box, it comes with these like little straps here that are like on the shoulder pads somewhere. And I guess they're supposed to be like hand resters. Like I don't even know. I just think that's kind of dumb. Like, again, maybe there's some people who like that, but I feel like there's no point in shipping the backpack like that as the default, you know, like again, let people opt in if they want these goofy things, so that way the majority of people who get this backpack don't have to go through the trouble of removing them themselves. Not that it's a big deal, but it's just one extra thing. And then the last thing, the last con, and this is probably not something that's specific to this backpack. I feel like there's other frameless backpacks that might have this problem too, but it's pretty hard to get this backpack to just like sit up straight by itself. You pretty much always have to like lean it up against something when you take it off on the trail, which again, it's honestly not a big deal at all. I don't even know why I'm complaining about it. I guess it would be kind of nice to be able to just like take a break on the trail and just like put your backpack on the ground when you take it off and not have to find like a log or a tree or something to lean it up against. I don't know, maybe in the desert this is more of an issue. I mean, in the Northeast here, there's always to lean it up against, so it's really not that big a deal. That's pretty much all I could come up with for cons, honestly. This is such a good backpack, and again, I feel like it's the best value you're gonna get for an ultralight backpack out there. I've talked about this in other videos, but everyone always says that ultralight's so expensive, all the gear's so expensive, and this backpack is not. If you're in the market for a frameless ultralight backpack, you've got your base weight down, you're ready to take that leap, this is the pack I would go with, especially if you're on a budget. Even if you're not on a budget, like, be sure to check out my podcast, Trail Tales, trailtalespod.com. You'll hear some conversations between experienced hikers, some long form conversations. We'll just BS for an hour about hiking. It's awesome every single week. Do it. And be sure to follow me on Instagram as well. Oh God, this smells so bad, dude. Why am I doing this? This is so stupid, like, ugh.